These 5 motorcycle communication systems take different approaches to group riding: rider-to-rider talk, mesh, Bluetooth, and staying connected when bikes spread out. I'm comparing the details that actually matter on the road: range, rider capacity, battery, and connection stability, because advertised range can be very different from real riding conditions. Links are in the description. And subscribe if you'd rather talk to your riding group than use hand signals. At number 5, the FOD Sports FX10C can put a whole riding group on one conversation without the flagship price tag. But there's one limitation I noticed that matters once the group starts spreading out. It uses mesh communication rather than relying only on a basic Bluetooth link, and it can handle group conversations while also connecting to your phone for music, calls, and navigation. The 40mm speakers give voices enough presence, and the physical controls are easy to find with gloves. FOD Sports also rates it for up to 15 hours of use and gives it IP65 water resistance. In actual riding, that combination makes more sense for a regular group than a simple rider-to-passenger Bluetooth intercom. You can keep the group conversation going while still hearing navigation prompts. The catch is range. The FX10C is rated around 500 meters for intercom communication, so I wouldn't compare it directly with newer premium mesh systems that advertise much longer open terrain ranges. And like any mesh intercom, real-world range drops with hills, traffic, buildings, and riders getting separated. Still, this one is interesting because it delivers the core motorcycle communication system experience without loading the unit with every premium feature available. Coming in at number 4, the Interphone Ucom 8R has a feature that immediately caught my attention. It can connect up to 24 riders through Mesh 3.0, and it can work with Sena Mesh 3.0 systems. That second part is important because motorcycle groups rarely stay perfectly loyal to one brand. The Ucom 8R gives you a claimed 1.6-kilometer intercom range in open terrain, 18 hours of battery life, 40mm HD speakers, Bluetooth 5.2 for your phone, GPS or TFT, and IP67 water resistance. The controls are also properly physical, which I prefer when I'm riding with thick gloves. What stands out in use is how focused this unit feels on rider-to-rider communication. There isn't a lot of unnecessary fuss between you and the intercom controls. One caveat, though: that 1.6-kilometer figure is an open-terrain claim, not a promise that 2 riders will stay connected at that distance through traffic, corners, or buildings. And the 24-rider figure doesn't mean 24 people will all be talking at once. It means the group can contain that many intercoms. For mixed-brand riding groups, that's the detail I'd pay attention to. Now at number 3, the Sena 60X does something most motorcycle communicators don't. It combines Mesh 3.0, Wave Intercom, Bluetooth, Bose-tuned audio, and AI noise cancellation in one helmet unit. This is Sena's newest premium communication system as of 2026, and the hardware is clearly built around long rides. You get 40mm speakers, a glove-friendly joystick, magnetic mounting, wireless charging, automatic power control, and IPX7 waterproofing. Mesh communication supports up to 24 riders with a claimed 2-kilometer range in open terrain. The part I find more interesting is Wave Intercom. Unlike normal Bluetooth or local mesh communication, it uses cellular networks, so it can reach riders far beyond the normal physical range when cellular service is available. That's a completely different approach to keeping a riding group connected. But there is a catch. Wave Intercom depends on cellular connectivity. Lose that connection, and you can't treat it like unlimited range magic. And at around $459 for the single unit, this is firmly premium territory. Still, if communication, audio quality, and modern connectivity all matter, the 60X is one of the most interesting motorcycle intercoms released in 2026. At number 2, the Cardo PackTalk Pro can keep a group connected while also watching for a crash, and that safety feature is what makes this one different from most motorcycle intercoms. The unit uses Cardo's second-generation dynamic mesh communication, supporting up to 15 riders, with a claimed range of up to 1.6 kilometers. It also has live Bluetooth intercom, natural voice commands, and automatic reconnection when the mesh network changes. The audio is another big step up. You get 45mm JBL speakers, and the extra speaker size is noticeable when you're trying to hear voices and navigation over wind noise. The magnetic air mount is also one of those small things that becomes useful every single time you remove the helmet. But the feature I would pay attention to is crash detection. It uses the unit's sensors, the Cardo Connect app, and Cardo's cloud system to send an alert to a preset emergency contact after a detected crash. There is a caveat. I wouldn't treat crash detection as a replacement for an emergency device or assume every accident will trigger an alert. It also depends on the phone and cloud connection, and at around $500, this is expensive. But as a motorcycle communication system, it combines group intercom, strong audio, weather protection, and an extra layer of rider safety in one unit. Sitting at number 1, the Cardo Freecom 4X takes a different route. Instead of building around a large mesh group, it focuses on making everyday rider-to-rider communication simple, compact, and reliable. It connects up to 4 riders through live Bluetooth intercom, with a claimed range of up to 1.2 kilometers. That makes its purpose very clear. You're looking at a communicator for a small riding group, a passenger, or a couple of friends who don't need a huge mesh network. You still get 40mm JBL speakers, natural voice operation, music, phone calls, navigation audio, and over-the-air software updates. The unit can also communicate with other major brands through standard Bluetooth intercom, which is useful when your riding group mixes Cardo and Senna hardware. What I like here is the simplicity. There isn't a giant feature list getting in the way of the basic job. Talk to the person you're riding with and hear what matters. But there's an important caveat. This is a Bluetooth intercom, not a dynamic mesh communication system. Once your group gets larger, or riders spread out, a true mesh communicator makes more sense. For everyday 2 to 4 rider communication, though, the Freecom 4X is one of the cleaner setups I've used. It keeps the important stuff without turning the helmet into a control panel.